back. I hope you guys missed me. I literally had to take a week off because I was sick. Like, no filming. I couldn't even go to my computer. And I had some other stuff going on, but we'll stay tuned for that story. If you are new around here, my name is Keilah. I'm your favorite LA realtor because who else is gonna do it? You shouldn't like anybody else but me. I want you to go ahead and like, comment on this video. I want you to go ahead and subscribe because I have a couple things in the works. So I want you to subscribe, become a part of the family so you can like be in tune. Think of this video or my channel as subscribing to my newsletter. This is your magazine subscription right here. Okay, so today's topic is basically about the biggest elephant in the room when it comes to the home buying process, the down payment. So today's video is going to be 8 ways to get your down payment for your house. I know this is going to be controversial, but I also feel like this is the biggest hump that people have to get over when it comes to purchasing a home. Like, some people don't see another way, some people do, but I mean, to each his own. It is easy for some people. If you are a millennial or Gen Z, you may not have thought of these ways, or you may have didn't know if it worked or worked, but obviously this is not the time where our parents bought homes. We have a lot more options than they did. So we're gonna get right into it. I know the biggest myth when it comes to a down payment is that most people think that they actually have to have 20% down. I'll link a video below to a previous thing where I debunk all these myths, and I'll give you a little bit of more insight as to why those myths exist. Okay, number 1. Budget. I mean, I cannot stress this enough. It is 2023. There are more than enough ways for us to budget. There's budgeting apps. There's budgeting. Even if you Google budget, you'll get a whole array of things and options. So that is really what the main goal is here. We have to stop spending recklessly. We need to hunker down on our goals and really decide what is good for us and what is not good for us. 2023 is about discipline. Okay, so if you are a W-2 worker, you are on payroll, you get paid bi-weekly, this is what you're gonna do. You're going to take every single paycheck. I mean, even if you get your bank statement, you're going to see how much you are paid every month. Then you are going to look at your bank statement as well to see how much you spend in between those payments and how much is left over. If you have nothing left over, that would also be an issue. You see where I'm going with this? You see? So you're going to write down how much you get paid, and then on another side, you're going to write your monthly expenses and your monthly bills. Let's start with things that you absolutely need for your expenses and your bills. Car payments, let's start with laundry, groceries, things like that, gas. Before we start adding in, your hair, your nails, your shoe budget, your shopping budget, coffee, and all of that. Let's start with exactly what has to be paid. Like, no matter what, this has to be paid or else something doesn't happen. And like I said, on that other side, you're going to take all of the income that you make. So whether it's your side hustle, including your payroll, or just whatever it is coming in monthly, that basically depending on how you survive. Now, what you're gonna do is compare how much you make to how much you spend. And this is where people get a hard reality check because they obviously see that they're spending more or they owe more people than they actually are making. Now, for some people, this may not be the case. Like I said, everybody's situation is different, to each his own. But, if you're having this is going to be for my people who have a hard time starting that saving pot for their down payment. So after you do this, I want you to sit down, look at this very closely, analyze it, detail it, whatever. Yes, you may have to cut out brunch. Yes, you may have to cut out Starbucks, but let's see where costs can be cut. I mean, if you're spending $300 a month on Starbucks, 300 times 12, that's about $3,600 that you could be saving towards your down payment. Yeah? No? Yeah? Okay. This is where your discipline is really going to come in, by analyzing and cutting those costs. So budget is going to be my number one option. That's going to be the first option before I even give you the rest. Like, try to eliminate the problem. You are the problem. Eliminate the problem. Number two is going to be, you can also be gifted funds. So if you have a family member, mom, dad, rich uncle, rich auntie that, may be able to help you with that, you can be gifted. For tax purposes, somebody can be gifted up to $250,000. That is in the state of California. I don't know if that's anywhere else. Don't hold me to the price. Everybody has Google, but I do believe that is like, you can be gifted up to $250,000 without being taxed on it, but you can still use it as a tax write-off. I thought I'd just throw that in there. But yes, the gift can come from family members, anybody who you can think of. You can start like a family GoFundMe. I've seen somebody, I actually know a person of mine that actually has like a house fund, and then they're just asking everybody to donate to their house fund, which is a really awesome thing, because hey, if you get enough people, $30, you could end up at like $5,000. If you keep it going for a certain amount of time. I feel like that was an awesome idea. So number three is going to be down payment programs. So yes, this is 2023. We have come a long way since when our parents bought their homes. And like I said, there's a lot more options on the tables for us. There's down payment assistance programs, but then there's also first-time home buyer programs, specifically for first-time home buyers, where you come with little to no money down. I know in the state of California, a couple of the programs only require you to bring about 1% to the table, and they bring the other 19%. So you don't have to have 20% down payment to buy a house. But if somebody is going to give you 20% down on your home and all you have to do is bring 1%, why not? Now, trust me, all down payment assistance programs have their pros and their cons, and it may not be for everybody, but it definitely is something to at least consider and maybe just get the information. Hey, information is free, so you're not locked into anything automatically when you sign up for it, but it definitely is something to look into, just for maybe a rainy day. You never know. So coming in at number 4, since it is the season for taxes, I don't know. I know everybody gets a different amount, but if you get a lower amount, feel free to give yourself a head start. If you have kids or a family and get a larger amount, save half of it, and put it towards that. So that way, when you're adding to the pot, it's a lot easier. Tax season definitely gives everybody a head start. So even if you get $500, think about the more you add to that, by the end of the year, you can at least be at $3,000. And like I said, you do not need 20% down. So I'm thinking anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000, which would include down payment and closing costs on a reasonably priced home. We're not thinking anything above $500,000 now, people. Let's humble ourselves. So definitely use tax season as an opportunity to give yourself a head start in the year. That savings pot, you can put a nice little chunk away and just add on to it as is. Another thing that a lender actually spoke about in a class is number 5, which is going to be automating your savings. So if you get paid a certain amount, if you go into your banking app, which pretty much all of us, I know in Chase you can do it. The way it works is you'll get your direct deposit, and then half will go into your regular checking account, and then you can split the other half to go into your savings account, which is a really awesome suggestion because, hey, anybody that buys a house, I will tell you, they have aggressively saved. When you're ready to buy a house, you have to give yourself depending on how much money you make, if you're making large amounts of money, maybe give yourself a 6-month head start. But if you make smaller amounts of money, just economy level, maybe $30,000 to $50,000 a year, think about saving the $20,000. So you have to live off $30,000 for the entire year. So really, you would have to start maybe a year to 18 months in advance. You really have to be aggressive and hunker down. And like I said, this is all about discipline. Do you want to get to the goal or not? I think we want to get to the goal. So this is just a really aggressive way in order to do that. I mean, trust me, it all is going to take some pain, blood, sweat, and tears, but just think about how cozy you're going to be in your new home. I know this may not be on everybody's like, yeah, but number 6 is going to be a side hustle. I know some people make clothes, they make shoes, they do Amazon on the side. I know so many people that work second jobs. A client that I work with right now, he's been working 2 jobs full time, like full 16-hour days, so he can save money for his house. Now, I'm not saying that's it, but also it's going to depend on how determined you are. Like, he was very serious and determined. He started 2 years ago because you know that we need 2 years of W-2s and taxes in order to submit that to the lender. But he was very, very aggressive in his approach, and he got it done because we just opened escrow. So it can be done, people. It's all about discipline. I don't even know what number we're on, but anyways, let's keep the ball rolling. So number 7, I believe. So number 7 is going to be, if you have a great paying benefit job, you can always dip into your 401k. I know it's like depending on where your 401k is held, it may be a penalty, it may not be, but I know sometimes the penalty is maybe like 1 to 5% on the payback, which is something that is feasible because think about the equity that you're going to walk away with in your home. Then of course you're going to start dumping right back into your 401k after you take from it. So remember, every paycheck goes to your 401k. That is something that I've seen some people do. I actually did work with a client last year, and she did get her down payment from her 401k. I don't really know the back end of how the process worked, but I know that it was something that was cleared through the lender, and they worked it out for it to happen. So I know it is possible. Of course, that is not everybody's first of mind because we all want to save that money for retirement, of course, but remember, the equity in your house is also going to be an asset that you can have for retirement as well. So that is always something to think about too. And last but not least, like coming in guns blazing, you can get the seller to pay your closing costs. I mean, even if you meet them halfway, I mean, the market that we are in right now, sellers are definitely helping with paying closing costs. If you are talking to a seller, or if you are a seller watching this and you disagree with helping a buyer pay for their closing costs, throw the whole person away, because that is just mean. With interest rates being so volatile, I know some sellers are definitely, in order to get the home sold, they are definitely willing to at least meet a buyer halfway. Of course, you have to come with your own down payment, but if you do not have all of the closing costs, that is something that your lender may be able to talk to the seller about, or your agent, of course. My client that works 2 jobs that we just opened escrow for, the lender told me to ask for $8,000 credit, so my client didn't have to come out of pocket so much money because he's still saving, and we wanted him to have some reserves as well. But I thought the lender said $18,000, and I think I was just thinking too fast. And when I was writing up the contract, I was like, $18,000. That is so much. That's almost like 6% of somebody's sale. I was like, we can't be that greedy. I was like, I'll just ask for 15. Why did the seller accept our offer? No questions asked. We didn't even get a counter offer. He just said, yes, 15,000. Give them whatever they need. Let's get it done. So that is an option, guys. Like, I'm not sitting here telling you that this is not an option. This is an option. Like, you can get the seller to help you. Like, don't ever think that is not an option. If the seller is willing to help you, I would always say pick that house over the house you may love that, may be a couple of $1,000s more, like $10,000 to $20,000 more. If the seller, even if that house is better, go with the seller that is willing to help you, because that money you save, you can create the house to look like that one. You can literally copy and paste into that because you save money over here. And then yours could be even better than that one. I'm just saying, that's just an option. Hey. What do I know? I'm just the realtor. But these are some things I want you guys to think about in case you're stuck between a rock and a hard place of your down payment, and you don't necessarily know which way to go. Like I said, you know, you can always ask family members. There are plenty of programs in pretty much each state that helps with down payment assistance. Some private lenders offer down payment assistance. The states offer down payment assistance and first-time home buyer programs. You can, you know, try to hunker down, budget, and discipline yourself to aggressively save, you know, or my favorite is the seller helps you bring a little bit to the table and the seller helps you with the rest. Even if you're like already, and then I would say that is for people who already kind of have a savings, but they're kind of like going through the motion. Hey, trust me, life happens. I know, like, our savings kind of becomes our emergency fund as well. So I know sometimes you have to dip into the pot. So even if you're a little bit there, but not quite, you better go home shop and ask the seller to help you, because why not? Why not? Why shouldn't they help you? They should be helping you. They should be helping you. If not, call me and I'll tell them to help you. I'm not that aggressive. I'm not that aggressive. But yeah, I just wanted to come give you guys some options. And like, you know, people, I know like YouTube is a search engine of its own. And I know some realtors talk about it. I know some lenders know, but some lenders do not want to talk about down payment assistance because it is extra paperwork. But if it is something that you need, I would say definitely ask. You know, it's all about the information we have, and there's not a lot of information out there on this. So I wanted to let you guys know. Everybody talks about how to, you know, find a house, how to buy a house, you know, the housing process, but nobody tells you how to get started, how to save the money, how to come up with the money for the house. You need money to buy the house. So I just wanted to come give you guys that little message. I hope to see you soon. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.